What's up, everybody, man? Thank you for coming and tuning in and listening to our podcast, man. This is the first one. I just want to give a little disclaimer here because my man Icky, for whatever reason, he was by a lawnmower or a chainsaw or a blower, leaf blower or something. So this guy will be the reason why you hear some crazy rattling lawnmower type sounds in the beginning. Freaking icky, man. This guy always knows how to make it special. Anyway, here's the podcast, episode 1, Urban Prophets Podcast. Enjoy. God bless. All right. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we could just count to 3 together. Are you okay. Are you recording yet?
I just started the recording of the session, yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So 1, 2, 3 clap on the video.
Yeah.
Then we can line up. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's do this,
All
man.
right, let's go.
Let's get this going. All right. Here we go. All right.
All right. Wait.
One.
Oh
my God.
That was a warm up to the one.
Dude, come on, bro.
All right, let's do this.
Here we go.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Here we go.
1, 2, 3. Clap. Oh my God. That was terrible. All right, so we'll count it. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Yep. 1, 2, 3.
Clap. All right, welcome to the Urban Podcast.
Welcome.
Actually, it's called the Urban Prophets Podcast. I was just so excited because this is our first public episode that everybody's gonna hear.
Here we
and they're
go.
gonna be on it. And I hope I'm not talking too loud, but I'm just really excited, you know.
Yeah, I am too, man.
We did a test one, but nobody's gonna ever hear that, or probably
Maybe
not. That'd be in the lost files. Maybe when we have the bonus footage, we'll put that up there somewhere for people. You can
maybe
have
for our
bonus
Patreons,
footage.
for those of you who are loyal, faithful followers.
Hey, yeah, that's gonna be coming up. Wow, dude, you're just giving them everything right off the bat.
Let's
dude.
go.
Let them just digest it.
Ooh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, so good though, man. But there's a lot of good energy. It's nervous,
yeah.
but it's excitement, because this is it's like when you do something new, for the first time, and then it's I've seen this, I've heard about this,
right?
Now I'm doing it.
Oh, good. That's good.
Yeah. And that's
Did you ever you get so excited for the first day of school you got dressed the night before and couldn't sleep?
No.
Oh.
I've
Yeah,
never done that.
me
I've
neither.
been. Yeah, I think you have. Sir. That's probably why you brought it up.
No, but I've heard of other people doing that though. It's on Wikipedia.
Yeah. Well. No. Here's Wikipedia. Yeah, the entry by Icky Taimi.
One entry.
Well, you know what though? Let me tell you. Well, actually, I have had the excitement part before.
Yeah.
But I have not had the dressed up part before because I was like, dude, my clothes are gonna get all wrinkled, and
you were using your brain.
Yeah. And then it wasn't my clothes. They weren't really exciting because I went to a uniform school for the first couple years of my life, so it was just gray pants and sweater, white shirt. Oh, let's don that. Yeah. So it was not that great of a exciting thing. Shout out all my Golden Gate Academy peoples, out there in the world. Yes. In the hoods of Oakland, California, where we got down.
Yeah, it's nice up there.
That's how we do it. Yeah, it is. It actually was quite a nice area of Oakland, but we were still, true Oakland peeps.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So we brought all of our urban culture, our urban flavor, if you will, to the mix.
And now you're here in Southern California, rocking Urban Prophets, baby.
That's
Got 'em.
right.
Got
Urban
'em.
Prophets.
I brought it back
Hello,
around.
Yeah, you did bring it back around. That was good because I was about to just say, we're talking about nonsense. I don't know if people are gonna like this, but that's what it's gonna be. Like we got planned stuff to talk about, but
Sure we
we're really
do.
here to just chop it up.
Pretty much.
Hot. I'm doing chopping motions for anybody who doesn't know, because this is happening
Yeah.
in a historic part of Earth's history. It's the quarantine from the coronavirus of 2020, which oddly is I guess it started in 2019 because it's called COVID-19.
Yeah.
And so we're
Is that
not
why they
in
call
the
it
same
COVID-19?
place. That is coronavirus 19, I believe.
I thought it was like the 19th iteration. Huh, that's interesting. I just learned some.
Listen. Okay, now hold on. Okay, 'cause now that you said that, I could be wrong. It could be like a no, because
That's what this is all about, bro.
Dude, all right.
We're talking about stuff. You know what I mean?
But listen,
Hey, we ain't got it all.
409, the cleaner.
Yes.
409.
Yes.
That's because that was the 409th try.
Yeah.
And that's why it's there. So if anybody didn't know that, now you do. And maybe COVID-19 is, I don't know. I read it on the internets, and you got to trust the internet. So
it's the internet's where all truth lives.
Yeah, coronavirus 19, because it was 2019 when we found out. I don't know. You know what? Somebody out there in the world, if you know the answer, let us know. All right?
Yep.
We have a way that you can contact us. Oh yeah, maybe I'll take a time to say that. Right
Ooh,
now.
do that. Drop that in there, bro.
Yeah. So we want all kinds of feedback.
Yes.
We want people to know about this, and so those of you who are out in the world,
yes,
you want to give us feedback. We have the Urban Prophets email. Like I said that like that's a weird, unique thing. It's urbanprophetspodcast@gmail.com. urbanprophetspodcast@gmail.com. And
dude, I just learned something
feedback.
right now.
Yeah, I know. I hadn't told you about that part yet, but we have it. And like we'll probably have like an Instagram and
ooh,
all that.
I hear all the young kids are doing that these days.
Yeah, they are. They're young and old as well. Everybody's on there. So anyway, yeah. So let's get to this, man. This episode is called "Why in the World Are We Doing This?" So let's tell the people who we are. We haven't even said our names yet, yo.
Hey, my name's Taimi, and I am one of your, I don't know, how are we introducing ourselves, Don D's?
We just tell who we really are. Like,
yo, I'm Taimi, and it's a pleasure to be with you.
Yes. And I'm Donovan Childs. And it is also a pleasure to be with you, Donovan W. Childs.
Tell them what the W is for, Donovan.
Yeah, dude. Okay, I'm gonna tell you. Like, people like to hide their middle names, but I'm not gonna do it, man, because we're about keeping it 100 out here. So, my middle name is Winston. No, it's Wilson. With an L. All right. This is why. All right. You know a guy for 20 years. And yeah. No, but this is why. It's Wilston, and the reason is because I had a grandfather named William, and I had a grandfather named Justin, and so to honor them, my parents just combined their names, and that's in the middle of my name. So that's why I would get mad if people don't include the W, on official things.
Representing.
It's like, dude, I got my grandfathers, my ancestors with me. You know what I'm saying?
Literally, bro.
They're always with me in name.
Oh, that's good.
I will never be ashamed of that name, even if people think it's a weird name, because what it means and what it is in my life.
No, but especially due to today's culture, it's actually very unique, and unique is really trending right now, bro.
Yeah.
Take it from a guy whose name is Icky.
Hey, that's a unique name, especially in America. Definitely. That's definitely.
And anywhere, bro. No, there's no country right now where that name is trending.
Oh, man. So you're a Tongan. You're a Tongan,
yeah. Absolutely.
And that's a Pacific Islander, for those of you guys that don't know. Like, we're all about educating folks on here.
Right.
So yeah. Yeah. And Icky is, you're saying, not even a common name in Tonga?
No, bro.
Is
No,
it a Tongan name?
No, actually, I don't think it is.
Oh, okay.
It originates in Japan from the mid 17th century.
You are lying.
And there was
you
a
are lying. Man, I thought you were serious for a second. You were lying, bro. Oh my god.
It was one of my dad's best friend's names. His name was
okay.
Tolu. So
Uh-huh.
that's my middle name is Tolu.
Got you.
And he asked my dad if I could be named after him, and my dad was like, "Yeah, I love you. You're a great guy. I want my son to be because he's a pastor." So he's like, "I like,
nice.
you know." So, yeah.
Cool.
Coincidentally, I didn't know all that until actually I became a pastor. I mean, I didn't.
Really?
Yeah. So like that whole thing kind of lined up. My parents never ever pressured me to become a pastor. Never.
Wow.
In fact, I think they were slightly disappointed when I told them that I was going to be a minister.
They were like, "Dang, we thought you were gonna be a businessman.
Yeah.
Make some money, not that thing."
We some broke immigrants. You want to be a pastor? Really? That's what you want to be?
Come on, bro. Yeah, well, you better be the best one because we need some money.
Exactly.
You know, can't eat rocks forever. Why am I assuming your family ate rock? Hey, mom, dad, I apologize.
Yeah, that's messed up, man. That's messed up. You know, my dad would drive you to the end of this world if he
I know.
had to.
He
with
did.
no pants on.
Yeah. Hey,
and no brakes in the car.
Exactly. I was about to say that. We went somewhere one time, and he took me, and we had no brakes, only the emergency brake, and we got there. I'm alive today, and so is he. So that's great. Let's get to what we're actually talking about because people are gonna be like, "Dude, I am over this show already. I'm over it." So, let's talk about this, man. Like, why in the world are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Do you know?
You know what? I want to let you be the one to drop the mic on him. So, you know.
Oh, okay. All right. So, you know, there is a reason, guys. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Like, you know, like when people start explaining that there's a reason for something, they are stalling.
Probably.
But no, for real, there is. Look, I'll say it this way. All right. So, Ix and I are pastors. For anybody who doesn't know, we're pastors. And, you know, sometimes in that space, there are these fixed ideas that people have. And when you speak outside of that kind of assumed thinking of your religious group or whatever, then sometimes, you know, it's hard for people to digest. Mm-hmm. However, we have opinions and thoughts on things that are good and that are thought-provoking, and we want to have a venue and a space to kind of put it out there. I'll put it this way. So I was doing my devotion this morning, right? And my devotion is YouTube, mm-hmm. and I was listening to a talk from Leonard Sweet. Leonard. Like, amazing, guys. You got to go find him on there. And he was talking about Christians, and he was talking about the church, and he's like talking about, he says, is there anybody in the world that thinks of the church as the most creative, innovative people in the world? Like, no, of course they don't think that. And he says, but that's a shame because we are the people who are supposed to be the closest to the Creator. We're the people who are supposed to be the closest to the Creator, yet no one thinks of us as innovative and creative. Wow. He said, listen to this. There's two things that God told you guys to do: conserve and conceive. Conserve and conceive, dude. I mean, like, look,
take care of the garden and multiply. Come on.
That's right, dude. And so he's like, dude, you gotta be innovative, right? And he was talking about his son who has like a PhD now. And he says my job my job as your father is to keep you humble, even though you got a PhD. He says you got a PhD in the sciences, and I want you to know that the half-life of your PhD knowledge is about 6 years, because science is always discovering new things and always examining, and so there's newness that happens. And I want to say that Christianity, in a large part, is operating on probably 1/3 of its half-life. We are operating on whatever archaic people thought back in the days. And here's the problem with that, because as the world is changing and growing, we're separating ourselves from the world. And as we separate ourselves from the world, we're getting out of touch with the world. And yet this is the world that we are supposed to be going into and connecting with people and all of those things. It's like everything that we're doing and working off of is not life, it's death. And we are people who claim to be followers of the living God, but we're practicing a dead faith. Therefore, we are actually being unfaithful to our living God because we're operating on principles and ideas and concepts that are dead when we should be in the world connecting and like processing those things, because that is the world as it is now. We have to be Christians in context, and we haven't been doing that. So with this thing, at least from my perspective, the reason I wanted to have this podcast is because we're going to be talking about everything. We're going to be talking about viral videos. We're going to be talking about YouTube videos. We're going to be talking about tweets, Instagram. We might, get some philosophical idea, get some philosophical prose in there, some theological think pieces, but they're going to be in the context of what we are living in right now. We're like pastors and Christians, but we're not weird. We're not weirdos. We're normal people that live in the regular world. And so we want to talk about the world as we experience it. And so for me, that's like, that's one of the things we're going to be doing.
I love that. For me, I'm committed to the process of conversation and exploring and talking and learning and growing and dialogue. I think that is so important to this whole us being more than what we can be. Sometimes we're boxed in, and it's so hard to live a life when you can't speak transparently, where we can't be authentic with each other. And so I think this podcast is probably going to be more for adults and like some of you guys out there who's like traveling through the world, because we're going to talk about stuff, man. Like we get horny, man. I get horny, man. I'm just putting that out there. And so like it's okay to say that. Like I want to put that out there. I don't always I'm not always like got it all together. And so it's really cool for us to digest and talk about like life and sex and gender and just exploring that, and being able to converse and being open and listening and talking. It's been a long time since I think that space has been created by people who are genuinely just lovers of Jesus.
Right.
But it's not Christian, right? I mean, it is Christian, but what we're not doing is creating another Christian show. We're lovers of Jesus talking about life. Let's just do that, because that was my next question that I had on my little list of questions. Is this a Christian podcast? What would your answer be to that question? Is this a Christian podcast? This is a podcast. If you don't want to listen to a podcast, do not sign up for this one. Don't do it. Like if you're like, I need something that is, that's going to follow a certain group of tenets and like it's going to stay here, this may not be the one for you. This is a podcast. And it's a podcast by a couple Christian guys who love the Lord, who happen to be ministers, who are committed to the process of learning and growing and talking and
but keeping it real.
Keeping it real. Keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100. Yeah, man. Like I would say my answer was, man, your answer was way better, because I was gonna do the yes and no, but I like how you said it better, because what I mean it in the same way. It's like, because we are Christians, it's a Christian podcast, because there's the Christian perspective. It's a Christian worldview that's coming into it. But we're also just people in the world, and so we just want to talk about whatever we want to talk about. And you're going to get our flavor on it, and we're going to hopefully get feedback from y'all, and that's going to help. And this is going to be like a interactive thing. Like, dude, I got a friend who has a podcast, and I was like looking over when I was trying to make like our description of how should I describe this podcast. And I said, let me go look at some other ones and see what people said. And I liked her. Shout out to Tierra Monique. talking
Tierra
about Tierra
Monique.
Monique. She's
Yes.
good. She's a homie. And she wrote on there, she said, "This is not my podcast. This is our podcast." And I love that because it's like, it's about, let's be interactive, man. Let's all talk together, man. Let's, you know what? Let's do it together, guy. You know? And I was like a hippie
I was like,
stoner. I don't know where he's going.
Voice? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me get to our other question then.
Let's go.
Are we experts on the subject matter? What say thou on this?
Ooh,
this?
I think no. I don't have a clear answer for you. I'll say this: having lived on Earth for a couple decades now, a few decades, maybe a couple more than a couple.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a lot of experience in life, and I think in relationships we deal really well with human social sciences. Man, we're really good at that kind of stuff. Creating community, those are things that we're really good at. Obviously, we both have a pedigree that the background is ministry and theology, but to say that any one of us is an expert, an objective expert, it's not me.
Yeah.
I'm here to learn from all of you and from you, Dondies, and to grow together.
Yeah, I was going to say the exact same thing.
No, you weren't.
No, yeah. I mean, yeah, no. Okay, so here, yeah. That's how I was going to say it. Yeah, so we're definitely not experts on anything. And one of the reasons is because on the subject matter, we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. We're not experts on everything. And there's not even, there's a lot of stuff that If you are an expert, by the way, you know a super lot about super little. And so who cares if you're an expert unless you're talking about that one thing, right? You might be an expert in, neuroscience, but can you throw down a mean omelet? Maybe you can, but maybe you can't.
You might.
Yeah, who knows, right? But I will say this. We are not experts on anything, but we have enough skill to have at least fooled one institution of higher learning into giving us degrees that say we are at a master's level of theological thinking. So we do have master's degrees in theology. And
we've fooled an honors society. We've fooled
an honors society as well.
Yeah.
If you can't tell, this is us bragging about ourselves. Our mediocre brag.
Because, we say super mediocre.
Everybody's like, bro, everybody got a master's degree.
Yeah. It's like when I used to tell people my minor, right? Like my minor's in biblical languages, and it sounds kind of nice to people who don't have a degree in that area. But to people who you have to take these languages anyways, so it's like almost an automatic. If you get I took one more quarter of Hebrew.
One more. Now I can write it in cursive.
In cursive.
I can write extra splotches and dashes and dots. And
Not to offend any of you Hebrew experts.
Sorry guys, sorry. But yeah, no. So that's we're not experts, but we are competent, to some degree. Somebody has given us a job to pastor and shepherd people in the field of spirituality and Christian religion. So we know a little bit of things that we will talk about. You can at least know that you're disagreeing with someone who's read a book, so something like that. Yeah, I guess. This is we're gonna change. We're gonna talk about something else now because that's done. That's done. But the last thing that I wanted in terms of a question, for today, for now, what's up with the title here? What's up with our title that we've got here? Urban Prophets. What's that all about?
It's like, you know what? Where do urban prophets go to buy clothes?
Dude, come on. I'm not gonna say it, bro. I'm not gonna say it.
Urban Outfitters.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
What do Urban Prophets drive?
What?
Suburbans.
Oh my God! Help us!
You're welcome, everyone. You're
Yeah,
welcome. This is
yeah.
on the fly.
Man, he is making this up.
No.
I was definitely not a part of this. I'm not a part of this at all. Yeah, I wish I don't even have another good one to like tack on. Yeah, just. Yeah. All right. Okay, but anyhow, no, but we do have a title. Urban Prophets, and it's, at least for me, prophet is not, as some people think, like this person that knows the future and predicts the future and all of that kind of stuff.
Right.
In the
Biblical days.
Hebrew biblical tradition, a prophet was the one who spoke the truth. The one who just kept it like unfiltered and straight up. Like, y'all need to stop killing people because that's not okay to do.
Yeah.
All right.
And then try to come up into this temple and worship.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. Y'all can't be acting a fool out there and then try to act like you weren't a fool out there. Be who you are because that's who you are. Don't come in here faking the funk, because we could see right through that, and you're probably gonna die, so stop. I don't know. I'm sure they told people they were gonna die before. Yeah, that happened.
No, they did. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They said, God's gonna wipe you out.
He's gonna wipe you out. It's gonna happen every now and then because you guys are whack.
I think that context for prophets fits us really well, in that we want to speak truth into the world. That's what we're committed to. We're committed to saying that, even if it's not trending. It's easy to say things that trend because trends are really cool. Everyone's on that. What's the next trending thing? Yeah. It's hard to hold to a cause. Causes are much longer. They're marathons. The trend is a sprint. And so we're sprinters in the society, but causes need a lot more intentionality. They need to be spoken to. They need to be consistent. There's a duration that's much longer. And I think we want to be in that space where we speak truth and goodness and light and love into the world.
Right. And we want to be able to say things that people who are restricted by certain expectations on them cannot say, but it's true. Like for me, I know that a lot of Christians have a problem with issues dealing with like gender and the way you think about the Bible and how you have to practice various things in the world. And some of those things are wrong, and somebody needs to be able to say, no, that's actually wrong. Just to be able to say it, like just say it, just say it. All right, everybody knows that you shouldn't have that guy tied up in the corner because of his whatever. Right. That's wrong. Like, can we get the guy out of the corner? Like, please take the ropes off him. Like, why are you doing that?
Free. Yeah.
Set him free. Yeah. Like that was good. Like, set him free, man. Yeah. Like, don't keep him shackled over there, right? I mean, what Mary, they said
Mary, I was just about
shackles
to say,
off my feet so I can dance.
I just want to praise him.
Just want to praise him. Dude, you know what's interesting about that, though?
What?
They said, take the shackles off me so that I can praise God. Mm-hmm. Get those restrictions off of me so that I can actually live for God as I should. And we want to do that. We want to help take some shackles off.
Yeah, I mean, in the modern world today, we tend to spiritualize everything, and we want to say, take the spiritual shackles off, remove me from my temptations. But I think that the Bible was much more literal. When Jesus came to say, this is the Lord's day. I've come to set the captive free. I've literally come to remove oppression and to break the system of violence and hate. And when that happens, people are freed then to worship God.
Yeah.
So we got to do some of that.
We got to do some of that, man.
Yeah.
All right.
I think so.
I think we're good for today, bro.
Yo.
Thank you, guys.
Listen, if you're joining us, thank you so much for hanging with us. Keep rolling with us. This is adult content, Adult Swim.
Oh, yeah. I'm swimming over here. I'm swimming.
Ooh.
I'm swimming.
We're going to be talking about it.
We're going to be talking about it. That's right, man. And, of course, we want to build this listenership. We want to build our community. So, please share this thing. Make comments wherever there are comments section below, over there, whatever, wherever. I'm pointing all over so I can hit all of it, right? Subscribe, follow, share, proclaim it from the mountaintops or, the hills, wherever I don't know where you live. Yeah, but we want that, and we want feedback. Absolutely. And we want feedback. So hit us up on that urbanprophetspodcast@gmail.com. Show ideas, topics you want us to talk about, questions you have, suggestions. You'd be like, yo, could you put your head up more? You're kind of out of frame, all that, whatever, all that stuff,
And if you're an expert, please let us know. We'd love to bring you on and talk with us.
Oh yeah,
about stuff that you're experts at.
Yeah, and sorry about what we said about experts. No, we appreciate
Yeah, we do.
You coming on and doing that for us. So but this is gonna be great, guys. It's gonna be join us, man. It's gonna get better. Like, it's awkward now, but we're gonna get so smooth. We're gonna be so smooth with it. You're gonna be like, oh, them guys are so smooth. You're gonna be like, why am I saying smooth so much? And it's just gonna be because we are, So so roll with us, join with us. It's going to be awesome. All right.
Looking forward. Let's go.
Y'all be blessed. And have you a wonderful day. Urban Prophets, out.
Out.
I'm pausing. That was so cool.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.